What up, guys? My name is Kong, and today I'm gonna be talking about a Netflix produced movie called Mosul. And Mosul takes place, I believe, in Afghanistan, somewhere in the Middle East. I can't remember exactly what country, but please forgive me. So let's talk about what the premises is about this group of soldiers who is fighting against the caliphate. Or I guess you can say domestic terrorism. So let's talk about what I did like about this movie. I like the fact that Netflix actually produced this, and we actually get to see the native people, or the native recruited. The native recruited turned into soldier fighting against terrorists, domestic terrorism, and external terrorism. I guess you can say inflowing of terrorism. So you get to see almost ground zero battle. You get to see from their point of view. A lot of time we as Americans, we kind of get blinded because we think that we're all this and that, and we got the biggest army, the best weapon, best economy, that sort of thing. But we don't get to see the other side or the other guy's point of view. And I like that about this movie. You clearly see it is from their point of view. No Americans involved. They do mention the U.S. For operation, hey, call. I got a buddy at the U.S. base. They can, do a couple, let's say airstrike. But they're like, no, don't do that. They're not gonna be here after we're done. They're gonna leave. So I liked that. It was a lot of it is focused on the guy and in their native tongue, in their native language, and I like that too a lot. A lot of good things. The story Netflix producing it, the characters are, although we're not truly introducing them, you can tell there's camaraderie, there's friendship in there. There's clearly a leader. There's clearly respect for each other, but also respect for their religion too. And you get to see this here. There's time where they're taking, their buddy is, shot. He's dead. They have to take to a place where they take in, people who have passed away. They pray and they take the time. They eat. They smoke. Eat candy. They watch TV. So it's really reminiscent. It's very reflective of, the American, their counterpart. Their American counterpart. So there's no similar. The only difference between is these are the native soldier fighting against domestic and external terrorism. So I like that a lot. The fight sequence I thought was very. It's not like great, but it does show you a sense of hecticness. Does give you some idea of what it is to be close quarter combat, what it is to be, going a choke point, what it is, how do you attack a static position, and how do you work with other team or other group in the vicinity. I thought that was very interesting. It showed that there are almost multiple players in this battlefield, so you get to see that. I like that a lot. This movie doesn't shy from death, doesn't shy from blood, doesn't shy from explosion, and I like that because that's just important. We shouldn't see and know that war is awful. It's a tragedy. It destroys life. It ruins life. It does not care who you are, especially when it comes to bullets and RPGs and grenades and bombs and traps, and it's crazy. And that's what I like about this movie too. What I love is there's two moments in this movie that I felt that was actually three moments that is four moments. There's a lot of moments in this movie where I say this is good cinema. This is good filming. This is good for storytelling. There's four in there, and that's good. Not a lot of movies achieve that sort of number, and still yet tell a complete story. Tell a compelling story at the same time. So I'm not going to mention those four things here because it's going to go too long. So there are good moments in this movie. There are sad moments. A lot of them are sad moments, but it captured the essence of what it is to lose a buddy on a field, what it is to reunite with families, that sort of thing. What it is to lose a brother, a son, a friend. It got it all really good here. Um, the thing that I don't like is I wish the combat, the close quarter combat was a little bit more better composed, or not better composed, better choreographed. But I guess it just didn't really quite matter in that sense, because to me, as I was watching, excuse me, as I was watching this movie, I could tell these are soldiers that did not have years of experience. They just came off a boot camp and just say, hey, you are drop here, you go, you fight, you go, So the lack of experience I think is fine, but I just think that the choreographs could have been a little bit better, more cinematic, more effective to get to us. How close quarter combat can be really, very scary, very dangerous for both parties. So what I don't like about this movie is that we don't get a lot of character development for our main character, who is introduced into the squad, the SWAT squad. We don't know who he is. He just put in there. He's immediately recruited by the squad because they needed the number to fight the terrorism. So I wish we get a little bit of his experience, a little bit of who he is, who he was. We obviously who he become, but we want to see who he was. So this way we can see, oh, this is why he became the person who he was during this movie, or during this period of his life, this event in his life. So we didn't get that. We get a little bit of all the other characters, but that's it. We don't get a lot. We get a little bit about the leader, but not a lot. That's the biggest draw of this movie, is the character development. We don't know who they really are, where they come from, what profession who they were before the war, that sort of thing. I think those are the two biggest things that really kind of take the point away from this movie. So what was the rating I give this movie, guys? I give it a 7 out of 10. I highly recommend you watch this movie. I think this will give you a sense of open your eyes, open your horizon, open your perspective from the other person's point of view, especially in Mosul, especially in Middle Eastern, where the American, in the past 15-20 years we were there. We get this movie really give us a sense of what's going on from their point of view and how they talked about certain topics. So this movie is, I say, critical to the cinema. It's important to cinema. It's important to us in America to really see the other side and not be blinded, not to be, for us to not brag that we are the best, but they are doing the same thing. They're trying to survive. They're trying to build a life for themselves and for their society, for their people. So 7 out of 10, guys. Go out, watch it. It's on Netflix. The movie title is called Mosul, Mosul. Go watch it, check it out. I think you will enjoy that movie. Anyway, guys, please like, thumbs up, share, subscribe, and browse on my YouTube channels. I have a lot of content for you guys to check out. Please do so. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.